Andi Purewal for ID Boxing. I'm joined by Simon Jordan here in London. Simon, we've just seen an unbelievable fight between Artur Beterbiev and Anthony Yarde. Ended with a victory for Artur with a stoppage win. Just your thoughts on what we've witnessed?
Yeah, I mean, you summed it up. It was a phenomenal fight. It was an amazing fight. Anthony Yarde came to fight. Beterbiev came to fight. You saw why he's a champion. You saw why he's been considered to be an elite fighter and a monster. You know, you talk about Callum Johnson, said he's never been hit as hard. Anthony Yarde got hit, but Anthony Yarde hit him for the first 6 or 7 rounds with pretty much everything he could. You know, the reality of it is that, as I've said elsewhere, a good fight is one you win, not one you turn up to. So whilst Anthony put up a good fight, it's disappointing to see him lose, but you saw levels there. Small levels, but this is a world champion, an elite world champion. Anthony Yarde is markedly better than when he fought Kovalov. And this was the fight I anticipated it would be. I thought it would be a proper fight. I thought it would be a barnstormer. I didn't even score it, because after the 5th round, I'm sat there going, what a fight. You saw the fight, you saw the audience, you saw people getting up out of their seats to be able to cheer Yarde on, to involve themselves in the fight, because these were two warriors. This was a proper fight. It was everything that people thought it was going to be. And the only shame about this fight is it went a little bit under the radar, and it shouldn't have done.
We've seen, everybody would like to see the Beterbiev-Bivol fight next for Undisputed, but Callum Smith is Beterbiev's mandatory for the WBC title. How would you fancy Callum's chances against what you've just seen tonight?
Well, I'm a huge fan of the Smith brothers. I admire that family immensely. I was so pleased that Liam won his fight last night. Callum Smith is a great fighter. I think it'll be a fascinating fight. Wouldn't want to call it, but ultimately this evening, I'm very disappointed for Anthony Yarde, because he came to fight. He was very loose, he was very confident. He hit this fella with everything that he could possibly throw, from left hooks to right uppercuts to straight down the barrel. But Beterbiev is just too strong, too big, too confident, too resolute, too resilient. And I think the decision to take him out was the right one as well.
Just on last week, he's come out since that Chris Eubank Jr.'s team's considering appealing the loss because of an elbow. What are your thoughts on that?
Honestly, I think Chris Eubank should do one on that one. I think that ultimately 160 is not his weight, 168 is the best weight for him. I don't think there was any intention in that, so if there's no intention in it, he doesn't have a point. You know, he got beat by the better man on the night, and that's the end of the discussion.
And just a final one, you've had some comments recently about the lack of quality on Dazn. Can you elaborate a little bit on that for me?
Well, I just don't think there's enough content on there, and I don't think the content that's on there is good enough quality. And I think they can be better, and I think they will be better. And Eddie Hearn, you know, is an elite promoter, and I think sometimes he can do better. But I do think that the more boxing platforms there are, the more that boxing gets visibility and raises its profile and gets more awareness, the better it will be for the sport. I'm looking at it with very rounded eyes, very open eyes, to say, why isn't there better content? Why isn't the VOD platform that so much expected of doing slightly better? Now, it's easy to criticise. I'm not going to give them what I think about what their blueprint should be for making it better, but I do think it should be better.
Simon, thank you.
Pleasure.